Our content is intended to be used and must be used for informational purposes only. It is very important to do your own research analysis before making any investment based on your personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you find on our website or podcast and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. What's up, my future one percenters? This is Marathon Money, brought to you by Wincrease.com. I'm Cam Jones, Prince of the Stock Market, and I'm here with my boy Kenny Coins, man. He back. What's up?
I'm back, man. I had to go to my grandma's funeral. So, that took some time. I grew up with her, so, a lot of things. It almost took me 2 weeks to just get through everything, and I had to go to a different country to see her. So, but I'm back to getting this money.
You're getting this marathon money.
When I got back, I placed it an option trade. Before I left, I placed the option trade. Right now, it's up 10%. So.
Right, on Teledoc, right?
Yeah, Teledoc. I had an option on it for until January 2018, but really I'm only gonna hold it for once it hit 25%. I'm gonna let it go.
Right, yeah. I remember you posted it in the chat, man. I thought that was a bad trade because at the time Teledoc was up at the super highs, but I mean it's working out.
No, in the long run, it's a bad trade. In the long run. But the problem is I needed to get it cheap, so I pushed it out further. Mm-hmm. So I know because in October it's going to hit 85 and it's going to jump from my initial bought from 75 cents to like $2 or $3. Mm-hmm. Because when you do option prices for so long, you get to a point where if it's already at 85 or 90 and the price, even though you're buying a January call, the price is gonna be $3 or $4 because it's 3 or 4 months away.
Right. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's my process of thinking. Get it cheap now, while it's like 15, 20, $30 away, and then when you buy it, and then once it gets October, November, it's probably gonna be around $2 or $3. Look, it's $8 away from where I need it to be. The moment it hits 85, I'm selling it. Simple as that.
85, man. That's I mean, Jay, that's excellent, man. That's one thing we wanted to talk about today was Teledoc, the Square run up, just the market in general, man. I mean, we could roll it right into the market recap, honestly, because I feel like last week was to be expected with everything popping up the way that it did. But I did see when you weren't here, Jerron was on, right? And we were talking about, different setups that we see in the market. And there's one setup that I see that has been pretty consistent, and that is when on the yearly chart, the daily yearly chart for the SPX, NASDAQ, and the Dow, if it goes too much, if it drifts too far away from the 20-day, then it starts to go in the opposite direction. So right now, I feel like we're super overbought, and all of those indexes are way too far away from the 20-day. So I feel like some puts could be in play, and I feel like you could get some a cheap way to play the market is the UVXY ETF.
Me, I'm in the same boat as you, Kid. But the thing is, I believe, like I said before a couple weeks ago, I think the S&P, the NASDAQ, I feel like those are the new guys, the small caps, the Russells. Those are the new guys because, to me, if you don't start buying those up right now, $2,900, $1,739, $8,109. That's really not that much, compared to the Dow. And if I was you guys, I would focus on the S&P because just 2 years ago the S&P was at 1,500. Just remember that. So I think a lot of people should focus on that. Yeah, Cam is right. Once you start drifting away from the 20-day, it's really not a good sign. But I would take, like, when it start going down, I'll seriously start taking advantage. Because like I told Cam 2 years ago, I'm going to be buying up as much S&P as I can. And 2 years ago, it was like, what, 2,100?
Yeah, it was for
It was
two
like,
years, man. This market been on a tear, so it
yeah,
was cheap two
yeah.
years ago.
So
Everything was cheap.
like, every month I made it a commitment from 2 years ago to buy at least 2 shares of the S&P or 1 share. You know what I mean?
Perfect.
Yeah. when when I started buying it, it was like, I don't know, the ETF was like, I don't know, maybe like 110, 120. I don't remember. But now it's up 200. I think it's a perfect index fund to buy because I think there's a lot of growth between those two index. And I just started buying the NASDAQ a couple months ago after Cam was saying, like, Cam made such a good point. It got to the point where like you have to buy it because this is the beginning of like the tech stocks. Like, this is nothing.
Yeah,
All this
yeah.
stuff that we see is literally really nothing, man. We're still living with like central air and paying for electricity bills. Somebody's gonna come up with something where like electricity is just gonna be free for everybody. You know what I mean? Where there's gonna be one main power source and it doesn't cost us anything. Stuff like that. This is absolutely nothing. This is
Tesla.
just the beginning. Tesla's getting itself out of the stock market though.
Well, he said that he don't have the backing anymore, so they're gonna stay. They're gonna stay public, man. I don't know why he did that.
I don't know why he did that either, man. Because I was like, dude, you just need to get off Twitter, man. You sounded like Trump, talking and you know what I mean. Because you get to a point where you just talking out your ass, bro. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
Elon, he's smart, and I'm gonna give it to him. He's smart. He knows what he's doing, but he's letting people get into his head. You know what I mean? Like, stay off of Twitter. If you can't take what Twitter's dishing you, bro, just stay off of it, man.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
because let's face it, me and you both know, Cam, Twitter's harsh. Twitter's harsh, bro. Twitter don't care. Twitter don't care. And to tell you the truth, that's why I think Twitter is gonna be the biggest like commentary news source. Like the moment Elon Musk posted that, how fast did a Tesla stock react?
Man, almost
Like
instantly.
instantly,
Instantly.
bro, instantly. So I'm telling you right now, Twitter. Even though we've been promoting Twitter since the beginning of this podcast, we're telling you right now, Twitter is one of those companies that it will be huge, it will be big, it will evolve with the generation because Twitter feeds that, what you call it, that egoness, that selfishness, that I want to get my opinion out there. I can argue without no repercussions. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's what Twitter really is. You know what I mean? So people get you'll see these threads and people lay out their plans and stuff like that. So like it makes people feel good to do that. And some people use it as their like personal diary to write stuff about they're thinking about, and then people react to it. Like you have to start seeing Twitter as that. I explained this to this guy at work. No, he was at work. He was at a conference we had at work. Why Twitter will be like real big soon. And I told him, man, just like people can express their feelings on there, their personal opinion, how they feel. Like Me Too. Me Too, if there was no Twitter, Me Too would not even
Yeah, it
be
wouldn't
able to.
even. I don't think it would exist.
Trust me, it wouldn't even exist because if you think about it, Me Too sparked off the internet. That's the only. It wouldn't even come to existence because there's no way you can get so much people and so much opinion. Now, is people actually going to the rallies? Not as many people that has their voice on opinion actually going to the rallies. I think that's the biggest downfall of the whole thing. It's not surviving because some of the leaders got caught with some of the women got caught with underage kids.
Yeah.
So
they got me too themselves.
yeah, so it's not like I think two of them, bro, two of them got caught with like underage kids. So like, so it's not really looking good for them. So I guess women do the same thing as men. So I guess it's really tick for tat.
Yo, but
But
but Twitter. I'm glad you brought it up because we got to give a stats update, man. Because first off, Square, right? Man, Square been going crazy, dog.
You like that? You like that? Yeah, Square been going crazy, man.
Square been going crazy, man. We've been telling people since the 9 or the 10, 11, $12 days, man. Hop in. Now, I will say, Square right now market cap is 36 billion. I don't know how they can justify that. You know what I'm saying? But right now the price is just ridiculous.
Because here's my thing with Square, bro. I don't even see that many people using Square that much.
I don't see that many people using it either, but apparently they own a bunch of other companies that isn't like in your face branded Square though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Cause I like once in a while I see somebody using Square, man. Like once in a while. Like if I go to like a restaurant and it's not a fast food chain restaurant or not a like a big name, like almost homemade and everything. I see maybe 1 out of 15 of those are using Square product. But less than that, man, I rarely see people using it.
I
You
think
know
a
what I
lot of
mean?
people use Cash App too, though. Like I see a lot of
Oh,
people like on Facebook and Twitter like posting out their Cash App, thinking somebody gonna just give them some free money or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
well, Cash App has no fees, man.
Right.
Now I seen restaurants use Cash Apps, like those small little like they're like little ice cream shops and everything, and they'll just say, "Hey, you have an iPhone, you have an Android, download the Cash App," and they give them their code, and then
Right.
boom, transfer the
I never
money
thought of
over.
it like that. That's pretty slick though.
Yeah, it is because hey, Square owns Cash App too. I
Right.
forgot
Yeah, I
that.
know. The thing, yeah, I always see people posting out, man, give me $5 on like Facebook
Yeah,
or something like that. Post cash out the Cash App.
and bro, it's so easy too. It's not like anything difficult, you know. But Square owns payroll.
Right.
They have it in Alaska, California, Nevada, South Dakota, Tennessee, and Florida. Um, they own like I guess they own retail stores too.
I didn't know that.
And Square owns restaurants. Square's for restaurants, and then they own e-commerce. They own like 2 restaurants, man. It's a place called Food Ordering Service Caviar, and but they're like online restaurants type stuff where people order and they deliver.
Okay. The
Yeah,
thing, the thing about people, I gotta say, uh, because something I see, it's off topic, man. Something I see on like social media all the time, it make me mad, man. And I think people they gotta be smarter than that. Like you ever see people like, hey, they share out a Tyler Perry video because they say if you share it out, we're gonna give you like
yeah,
$60,000. People be sharing it out like, come on, man. Come on, man. Why? Stop doing that. They ain't free. Ain't nobody about to give you a free $60,000 or free $1 million, man. Quit. That stuff be annoying me, man.
yeah. But you know what I think needs to happen? Square and Twitter needs to like do something together.
They
You know
do.
what I
They
mean?
need to come up with like a tweet to buy, and you pay
Yeah.
on Cash App or something.
You know what I mean? I think Twitter needs to figure something out. Like either work with like a sporting agency or a talk show where people pay. You know what I mean? Okay, if you want to see this show, you just got to pay $1 to get in. You know what I mean? Or something like that, or this giveaway, something like that. You use the Cash App, you use Square to do it. You know what I mean? Or Cash App, whatever they can do, man. They can really boost up business, man. I just think um I think Jack Dorsey, man, as hard as it is for him running two companies, he's doing a great job because Twitter's finally acting right. Square's been acting right. You know what I mean? So you gotta give it to this guy, man. He's getting things done for himself, and he's probably making those shareholders happy too.
Yeah, man. Jack Dorsey over here telling people,
"You like that? You like that?"
I'm telling you, man.
Man, but moving on to the next, we talked about Twitter, and then obviously Teledoc, right? So we talked about that. That's been rolling. I think we up on a year since January, 122%. So I don't know what else to tell you out here. We giving you them all-star picks, man. We giving you them, Kevin Durant, Golden State Warrior stock picks. Who else we got? Alibaba, they kind of stuck, but I think they up on the year too. They kind of stuck around that 175, 185 range, but I think eventually they're gonna pop. I mean, they the Asian Google. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we didn't really pick them up until January, so they was at a 120, so they are up in the year. You know what I mean?
Who else we got, man? Zillow. I think, man, Zillow kind of disappointed me a little bit on that last earnings, man. They were up right before earnings. They were up to about 60, dropped down to like 48, and just sticking there right now. I do think it's a buying opportunity on Zillow, though. So.
Oh yeah, I know there's a buying opportunity on Zillow.
But man, when they crashed down like that, man, a little tear came to my eye, man. Dang.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know if you still have Take Two, but I do.
Yeah, I still got Take Two. That should have been on our list too, man. I think it was on our list for the year, but it's not on our Staz list though, man.
Yeah,
but Take Two.
Take Two is big balling.
Balling, dog.
Man, we bought that at what, 50?
Yeah, I bought it at 42.
I got it at 52.
It don't matter, man. We got it early. You know what I'm saying?
At this point, it really don't matter.
I mean, the esports stuff. That's I really don't know how that's gonna come into play. I don't see. I can't just sit there and just watch people play video games. But apparently, millions of people do it. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody will shoot somebody over it.
Yeah. I mean, it ain't funny, but
it ain't funny, but
it happened.
It tells you how serious this thing is. You know what I mean? How it messes with. Also, it tells you how it messes with people's minds too. People take it serious. There's money on the line. You know what I mean? That Madden tournament.
You're right.
It was $350K. Like,
oh, it was 350. I thought it was 5,000.
No, it was $350K for the whole tournament. Each round, the round you win,
5,000.
You get 5,000, but the total prize was like $350K. Like FIFA, each round you won, it was like 2,000. So, like, say you got knocked out the third, fourth round, you will at least walk away with some type of money.
Right.
That's how they were doing it.
Dang, these cats.
Dude, like, that's why I'm saying, like, I could never understand where, like, there's, like, this one guy who played 2K NBA. Like, he's the best in the world, and he makes, like, $6 million a year. And I'm like, how is that possible?
Yeah, I need to practice more, man.
you know what I mean? How is that possible? Because if you look at the tournaments, you know what I mean, they're like $350K. Some tournaments are $250. I don't think I ever saw a tournament lower than $100K, but at like, you know what I mean? But like these tournaments, they're high price, man. They're like on TV. They're making money from that, and they got viewers too, man. It's not like, you know what I mean? Somebody's like, people are not watching it. People are watching it.
Right.
There's more people watching that than WNBA.
Yeah.
That's it. You think I'm lying, man? There's more people watching that than WNBA, man. I'm serious. I'm so serious. Like, I don't mean to make it as a joke, but it's true.
Hey,
it's true.
You're right, man. I don't even want to. I'm not even gonna say what I want to say about that because
I'm not get into it, man. But I'm telling you, there's money to be made and stuff like that. I think a lot of people need to pay attention to because that's how you can low key make yourself like a millionaire. Because like 5-6 years ago, if you were to sponsor a EA or give or put money in investment, it would have been like 3 or 4 grand, and depending on the views and depending on the ticket sales, you would have made money. But now, like if you are original sponsor, original investor, you would have been walking out with at least 450K after all the sales were done. You know what I mean, in profit.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm seeing a lot of that on ESPN too. A lot of that
yeah,
esports, man. That's something to look out for. The esports, all those little video game companies, man, they coming up. So you got Take
yeah,
Two, EA, Activision. I'd even throw Glue in there.
yeah. Oh, did you hear about this like mom that like would support her son, and like she's a stay-at-home mom and she would support her 3 sons, and what she would do is she would get invest money into the event, and then she would make after the ticket sales and everything was done and the event was done, they would give her how much, like a percentage of the profit,
Oh, that's
right?
slick.
She did that until they were 15, and that's when EA Sport came out, and then she kept on doing it after, and now she's making like 1 million a year. She like her husband's like some big CEO, so like he's thinking of retire because he didn't foresee his wife making money doing that. But it's like it's crazy because if you think about it, it's like, you know what I mean. All she did was she saw an opportunity to make just a little bit of extra cash because her
And they
sons were playing,
exploded.
and they exploded. You know what I mean? She would never thought video games would be. She thought, honestly, man, she'll tell you she thought it was stupid. Because she saw another guy tell her about it, and then she did it too, and then she said she was making like maybe 15 grand on top of what she invested.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? It was just 15 grand every 4 months. You know what I mean? It was 4 or 5 months.
Yo, we
It was
gotta.
like, yeah. So I don't know. You gotta look out for stuff like those, man. Because those things, usually stupid things like that,
That's
makes
what
people
pop.
millionaires.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does, man. Because like, it really does.
One other thing that popped, man. I know we jumping around a lot, but we missed last week. Kenny wasn't here for a couple of weeks. We gotta, man. We gotta touch on everything.
Yeah, we
Uh,
do.
CRON, man. Weed, marijuana stocks. What you thinking, man? I made some good money on CRON this past week because I was
Man,
buying it back in the low days when it was. I started buying it at like 7 or 8, and then went down like in the fives. I started buying, a little bit more. It was real cheap, so it didn't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? I was buying it for like my nieces. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it just blasted up to like 13. I'm like, yo. I ended up selling it at 11.91. And then I bought it back at 8 something the other day. So shoot, I'm in there, man.
there was only one restock I ever bought, and it was 75 cents. That's serious, man. It hit $3 and I sold it. No, seriously, man. Because like, here's the thing, man. Weed stocks, it's really unpredictable, man. It's
Yes.
really, really so unpredictable. Cannabis stocks, you know what I mean? The Canadian stock, it's so unpredictable.
But
And the problem is you get a company. If you ever bought a company at like CGC, Can Copy of Growth Corp, like the chances are you hopping into that is small. I bought the company I got was Leaf. They're not too big. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
I never heard of them. It's a lot of them out
Nah,
there though.
it's $24 now. You know what I mean?
Oh, dang.
Yeah, dude. Like it was 75 cents, man. I had a whole bunch of shares of those, and then I sold it at 3, and I completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what
But
them,
it's a
man.
whole
They
it's a over
really
the
like
counter.
hot and cold. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
real like, they had a times when it's blazing, then they have their times when it's like not doing anything.
and you gotta understand, a lot of these companies, almost 90% of these companies can't put their money in banks, bro.
Right,
So
yeah.
it's a huge risk like you're taking. So if they're not like to me, if they're not under $3 and they're still doing all the reports and everything, and you see that, yeah, take the chance that they're under $3. But less than that, man, it's it's hard, man. There's only one real company on the Nasdaq, and it's that CGC company. That's the stock symbol, and it's $45. That's the only company that's on the New York Stock Exchange, really.
Well,
So
I think indirectly, Scott's Miracle Grow, they consider that one because that's what I guess a lot of the growers use that product to grow the
yeah,
marijuana.
well, I'm talking about that been I seen consistently for the last 6 years that's been on that.
Oh, okay.
That
I
has
got you.
consistently like grown and stayed there. I don't know how they keep where they're putting their money, but it's working.
Yeah.
So you know,
Get them
but
coins.
yeah, get them coins, man. But but that's really the only one. But some of these, like, if you look at some of these marijuana stocks, man, they're like 6.10 billion, 5.3 billion, 2.5 billion, 1.3 billion. They're like pharmaceutical capital, all those, like, you know what I mean, Cannabis Corporation, like THCX, you heard of that?
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? That's like 965 million. You know what I
You talking
mean?
about market cap?
Yes, man. Like, you know what I mean? They're over the counter, but Can Trust Holdings, Organic Growth Holdings, like some of these companies, man, they're like
The over the
over like
counters, man, I gotta watch it. You gotta watch out for those though. That I mean, if I'm gonna get in it, I gotta get in some of the ones that's on, a real
here, here
stock exchange.
here's the thing about the over the counter, man. Some of them do pan out.
They do. They do.
That's not like I want to make sure
Nintendo is
some.
over the counter.
Yeah, Nintendo's a different story. The reason why it's over the counter is because it's a foreign and they don't want to really be on any stock exchange.
Right.
That's Nintendo. That's something that you like once you read the paperwork, they literally clear as day say that. You know what I mean? Then you can understand, but it's like 30, $40 Nintendo. You know what I mean? So, but like there's some companies like you gotta pay attention to. Like if they're not doing any reports, they're not giving you anything every quarterly, that's when you should be worried. So if in the past they're missing quarterly, I wouldn't trust that company. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? All these companies like Supreme Cannabis, you know, Organic Gram, Can Trust, all these companies, THCX, all these companies, they're consistently putting out earning points, putting out statements. They're having annual statements. All this stuff is still coming out on time when they're supposed to come out on time. With the Nasdaq, if you don't do it, you're not going to be on the Nasdaq any longer.
Right, right,
Like over the counter, they tell you have to do that, but it's not a requirement.
right.
That's the thing. So if they keep up with what is told to them to do, it's more likely they're a real company. They're just trying to make it to the Nasdaq. That's all they're trying to do to get legitimized because they're going to get way more investors. So if a company on the over-counter market already has 2.53 billion, the moment weed gets legalized, these companies will explode.
Yeah.
They will explode. They will jump up to 20 billion, 30
Probably
billion
it's
easily.
not gonna man, weed won't be legalized everywhere for I don't feel like for like a long time. It's gonna be
Oh
you
yeah,
gotta get out first you gotta get if you want this to happen, first you gotta get out all these old people in the government, right? How long is that gonna take? That's gonna take so long. Like it might take 30, 35 years to get these people out of the government. These people that can block it. You know what I mean? And then you have to bring it up to a vote for people to legalize it in certain sections. You know what I'm saying? In different states. I don't think it'll be legalized
here's,
nationally for a long time. But
here,
if it's legalized in certain sections, like you got Nevada, Colorado, California, Seattle, if it's just legalized in like certain sections, I think that these smaller companies are gonna explode, man. Because once
in
it's
20
legalized nationally, just the big
yeah
dog's gonna take them over.
in 2012 the weed industry was worth 6.1 billion. Now it's worth 21.6 billion.
That's making me want to buy more CRON.
No, it's because though California got legalized, Colorado, some states have medical marijuana.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's not fully legalized. I don't
Yeah,
think it's fully legalized in California. It's just like medical.
yeah. So like, if you think about it, it's like imagine if that jump happened in 5 years. Imagine when the whole country is legalized. Like
Crazy.
you're talking about 100, $200 billion industry
Yep.
like that. You know what I mean? Because the first 6 years, man, the first 6 years, I'm telling you, people be buying it just because they can buy it. You know what I mean? Simple as that.
Yep.
And whoever's in it now, like think about the people who've been in it when like this thing was barely 100 million. You know, it's like it. The thing about weed is the legal part. That's the only problem with it. That's really it. It's really like not even if the industry is wrong, because people that are doing it now and taking a risk, it's the people that love what they do.
Right.
Simple as that.
The weed heads.
There's really nobody really doing it for the money. People are really only doing it because they love it. They want to see the plants grow, all that yada 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 stuff that we could care less about. You
I
know
just
what I
want the
mean?
money.
Yeah, I just want the money. You get what I'm saying? So those people, like, they don't care if they take a big loss. You know what I mean? They don't care if like things go sideways. Because they know if like the government said nope, we're not gonna legalize it for another 100 years, they're done. You know what I mean? So it's just all a part of waiting and see what happens next. Really.
Yeah, man. So we up. We out of time, man. So yo, make sure you follow me on Twitter, Stock Twists, anything at Camboni11, CAMBONI11. Hit us up to join our Marathon Money Facebook chat so you can get the inside scoop on these plays that we got. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
What about you, Kenny?
Definitely, man. You know, Kenny Con 23. Hit me on Twitter, Instagram. You know, Facebook. Everybody. You know, Stock Twist, same thing. Really, just like we're trying to get more people on the podcast. You know, trying to get more people listeners. I think this year is probably going to be a really good year. I think we still got a lot more to go. I think these stocks finna. I think the way things are going right now, going into what I like to call money spending season. A lot of people tend to spend a little bit more money the moment it hits October. So I think a lot of things are about to fly up. That's I guess everybody get ready to buy.
Yup.
Or sell, or sell if you're already in some things. You know what I mean? So you know, a lot of things tend to change a lot. This is like at closer to the end of the year. A lot of money's always
Starting to
been
change
made.
hands right here.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of money always been made, and a lot of people lose money too. So,
All right, man. Till next week. Peace.
peace.